Hello everyone, and welcome to another installment of Erin's Book Club. I have a book that I finally finished reading with my crazy life that I would like to go through with you guys. It is the second installment of the Vision of Shadows Warriors series called Thunder and Shadow. I love the artwork on these books. Let me read the back of it so you understand where we're coming from. Embrace what you find in the shadows. ... After discovering that rogues had taken over Sky Clan's territory and rescuing two kits who may be related to Star Clan's prophecy, Elder Paw has returned from his quest. But the same vicious cats that drove Sky Clan have traced their path back to the lake, and Shadow Clan may be the next to fall. So, before I go any further, I want to say, like all of my other reviews, this will not be spoiler-free. So if you have not read the book and you want to read the book, please read the book and then come back. So you've been warned. So I enjoyed reading this book. It has... I read it in a different kind of point of view after reading the Black Stallion series by Walter Fairley, because the books that I'm finding that are more recent, written for the same age group of people, I'm finding a little more immature of a read compared to what Walter Fairley writes. Almost as if Walter Fairley expects more of the reader than what today's author expects. And I don't know if that's kind of come down with society saying that we have to help everyone along to the point where we make learning and struggling not a thing. Like you have to struggle to get anything of value. But anyway, I'm way off on a tangent. Going to talk about the book. The book has a few really good things to point out that I've written down in the front here. But my first point is the characters are kind of stale. They all fall into the same cookie cutter kind of category. There really isn't much growth for all but two of them. The two kittens grow exponentially, and that's almost where all of the effort came from with this author. But the characters from the last book, Elderpaw, he seems to stay in the same cookie cutter category and doesn't seem to grow at all. Doesn't seem to learn much, just he's his same person. So that was a bit of a challenge to read about. The author brought up some good questions about supporting your fellow man and supporting your fellows. So it's very important to do what your family wants you to do and to do what your group of friends want you to do to a point. If what they want you to do is detrimental to those around you, what do you choose to do? Do you choose to follow your friends because what they're doing is going to be helpful to them, even though it's detrimental to people you don't know? Or do you support the rest of your species to make the rest of your species stronger? It was a very interesting concept, and one that I enjoyed reading about, one that I enjoyed seeing the outlook on, and the ramifications of that. Brought up a lot of questions about war and the cause of war and the the insignificance of fighting over something to the point where you're causing death of others. Like, is there no other way of solving your differences than fighting and trying to kill each other? That was an interesting concept that I thought was brought up. I must, though, say that I really dislike the Needlepaw character. I found her shallow. I found her selfish. I actually look at her as a villain of the story. She doesn't seem to really care about anybody but herself and what she wants, to the point that it's detrimental to all of those around her. I'm conflicted because the author kind of writes her as almost like a tragic hero, but I really think she's quite a villain, and I dislike her, and I dislike how she's able to persuade what I think would be a good character to make wrong choices. And there's been times where I was reading this saying, like, why would you make that decision? Why would you go with Needlepaw? She's obviously doesn't give a crap about you. She only gives a crap about herself and what she can do. So that part of the book was frustrating, and I part of me really wants to see Needlepaw get some kind of comeuppance. I don't know if it'll happen, but part of me wants to see it happen. And as a final point, the book brings up a really good study on nature versus nurture. Two kittens from the same mother raised in two very different environments produced very different kittens. And is that solely the nature of how they were raised, or is it the personality of the kittens that caused that? And in the long run, it was kind of sad because both kittens were looking for love and finding it in different ways, and one eventually giving up on finding love at all. So then she looks for it in the wrong places and gets mixed up with this Needlepaw character, which I really dislike. It was a long book with a lot going on for really no resolution. We still don't know what happens to Shadow Clan. We still don't know what's going to go on there. There just seemed to be a lot of fluff in this book. A lot of stuff that didn't actually need to be there. But I'm going to order the next one and read through and see if it gets a little bit better. I don't know. I'll let you know when I have another book read. But that's all I have to say today. Have a good weekend, everybody.